Hello, and welcome to Tips and Tricks with the Magic Sock. This is episode 8, Lorwyn Tips. So what we have here is I'm playing a black, green, and white deck, and I have a Hunter of Eyeblights out, and I have an Immaculate Magistrate. My opponent has blue and red deck playing a Morphling and an Aether Snipe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Garruk Wild Speaker. 3, 4. Put him out and put the 3 counters, loyalty counters, on him. And in response, my opponent is going to try to incinerate my Planeswalker. Now, keep in mind that you can use the Planeswalker's ability, so use his effect, and untap 2 land, and he's going to get 4 counters. The incinerate would then resolve, bringing him down 1, 2 to 1, which will keep your Planeswalker alive. So keep that in mind. You do get priority back after you've cast the Planeswalker, the Wild Speaker, and the incinerate is not automatically going to kill your Planeswalker. Very, very important. Also, and I know everyone knows this, but for those of you who are new, there are always a few people out there who aren't sure how to kill a Planeswalker. Let's say we'll bring the Planeswalker back up to 3. Let's say he was attacked or God knows whatever. He used his ability this turn. He's 3 loyalty counters left. When the Incinerate is cast at me, my opponent could say, I wish to redirect it and do 3 points to the Planeswalker, thus killing the Planeswalker and removing 3 loyalty counters, and then the Planeswalker would go to the graveyard. So do keep that in mind, that there are ways outside of just attacking with creatures. You basically target your opponent, and then you can say, I want to redirect and do the 3 points to your Planeswalker, which would kill your Planeswalker, and that would take care of that. So, now, I've got another little trick here for you. Let's say you want to cast, and let's pretend it's our turn again. 1, 2, 3, Oblivion Ring. Okay? And you want to target Morphling. Now, when you're playing the Oblivion Ring, as a spell, Oblivion Ring doesn't target. The choice of which creature to stick, put the creature in the ring, is made as a comes into play triggered ability that goes on the stack well after the ring has resolved and is no longer a spell. So when you play Oblivion Ring and you basically put it into play, and as it comes into play, your opponent can then respond, use the Morphling's ability to make it untargetable. So the Oblivion Ring would basically fizzle and just stay in the play, and nothing would happen to the Morphling. Very important. So basically, Morphling can get around Oblivion Ring. Very simple, makes sense, you can understand why. But let's change the target, and let's pretend that instead someone wants to target your opponent. I want to target, let's say, the Aether Snipe, and in response, let's say my opponent he's untapped. He's going to use 2 red and a blue and play Shunt. Change the target of target spell with a single target. So if Oblivion Ring is coming into play, is it still a spell that you can say, my opponent can say, oh, I want to use Shunt, and instead of you targeting the Aether Snipe, I want to target you to target the Hunter of Eyeblights. That will not work because by the time Oblivion Ring comes into play, it's no longer a spell and you're not able to redirect it. So, good idea, but it's not going to work. And lastly, just a minor little combo. If you haven't noticed it yet, if you're new to playing with Lorwyn, if you use the Hunter of Eyeblights ability, it says, you can read here, 2 colorless, a black, tap, destroy target creature with a counter on it. If you use it in conjunction with the Immaculate Magistrate, and so let's say I want to put a +1 counter on the Aether Snipe for all the elves I have in play, and I only have 1 elf, So it's got 1 counter. You can then use the Hunter of Eyeblights ability. Tap it. 1, 2, 3. Target the Aether Snipe and destroy target creature with a counter on it. It's a nice little combo, so keep that one in mind. Lorwyn has lots of tips and tricks. This episode is just a short little reminder of some of the fun things you can do with Oblivion Ring, with Planeswalkers, and how to kill Planeswalkers, and a simple combo with the Immaculate Magistrate and the Hunter of Eyeblights. If you are interested in Magic the Gathering and like this episode, there are other episodes, tips and tricks of the Magic Sock available on YouTube. There is also a weekly audio podcast called The Magic Sock, available at www.themagicsock.com. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, keep playing Magic. Take care.